Put your hands out the window!
It's only myself. Why are your weapons drawn? What's going on? I'm honestly afraid to get out. Can I?
Yeah, you should be.
I have not committed any crimes.
You're being stopped on traffic violation. You're not cooperating at this point right now?
Hold on. Watch it.
As an absolutely valid claim.
Doing good police work is investigating what comes to your attention.
All people want to be treated like a human being.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Before the Court. Today is Thursday, April 15th, 2021. What a week it has been in this country as far as police interactions and police videos. Just today, the Derek Chauvin trial in Minneapolis finally rested and moved to the jury. Meanwhile, only miles away, Daunte Wright was shot the other day and died. Meanwhile, in Virginia, Lieutenant Caron Nazario was pulled over by police officers and maced. We have so much to get through tonight. We're going to be covering the video of Lieutenant Caron Nazario. We've got information for you that you will not hear anywhere else. Our experts are loaded with fantastic, helpful, insightful information. We have so much for you tonight. Please stick around. Before we get into it, let's bring in our panel of experts. Experts, come on in and join me. Panelists, welcome back. Great to see all of you again. As usual, our good friends, Criminal Counsel Heather Waddell, Joe Gandersky, Deputy Chief of Detectives, Chicago, and Aric Anderson, author, The Blue Book, The Talk, A Black Community's Guide to Police Etiquette. Panelists, welcome back. What a week it has been. We have a lot to discuss this evening. Before we get into it, as usual, let's go ahead and watch the video. Viewers, tonight's video is about 29 minutes long. We are going to present for you the entire thing, the full video in its entirety. If you have seen it already and you don't want to sit through it again, we are putting on your screen right now the time for you to fast forward to if you want to skip the video and get right back to the discussion. Go ahead and fast forward to that time right there, and our discussion will be starting. If you haven't seen the video, have a look at it now. We'll be right back with some discussion right afterwards.
Driver, roll the window down!
Felony traffic stop.
Put your hands out the window! Put your hands out the window! Turn the vehicle off, put your hands out the window!
I can't tell.
Put your hands out the window and turn the vehicle off! Put your hands out the window!
He's not complying, Joe.
Come around your side.
Let me see your hands! How many occupants are in the vehicle?
What's going on?
How many occupants are in your vehicle?
It's only myself. Why are your weapons drawn? What's going on?
Open the door slowly and step out! Open the door!
I'm not getting out the vehicle. What's going on?
Get out the car! Open the door slowly and get out!
What's going on?
Get out of the car now!
Open the door and get out the car!
Hold still. Hold. Keep your hands outside the window. Keep your hands outside the window.
My hands are right here. What's going on?
Get out of the car now!
Get out of the car!
What's
now!
going on?
Get out of the car now! Get out of the car now!
I'm serving this country and this is how I'm treated?
Yo, what? Guess what? I'm a veteran too. I don't know, babe. Get out of the car!
What's going on?
Get out of the car now!
What's going on?
What's going on? You're fixing to ride the lightning, son.
I'm sorry, what?
Get out of the car now!
What's going on?
Get out of the car now! Get out of the car!
Sir, just get out the car! Work with us and we'll talk to you. Get out the car!
You received an order. Obey it!
I'm honestly afraid to get out. Can I?
Yeah, you should be. Get out!
What's
Get
going
out!
on? What
Get
did
out
I
the car!
do?
Get out now!
I have not committed any crimes.
You're being stopped on traffic violation. You're not cooperating at this point right now? You're under arrest
For a traffic-
You're being detained, okay? You're being detained for
For a
obstruction of justice.
traffic violation, I do not have to get out the vehicle. You haven't even told
Really?
me why I'm being stopped.
Really?
Get your hands.
Get out of the car now. Get out of the car.
Get your hands off me,
Get out of
please.
the-
Get your hands off me.
You know what?
Get your hands off me.
Not a
Get your
problem.
hands off me.
Back up,
I
Daniel.
didn't do anything. Don't do that.
Sir,
Get out of the car
Don't do
now.
that.
Hey, sir,
Get out of the car now.
Don't do. I'm trying to talk
Get
to
out.
you.
Okay.
I'm trying to
I'm
talk.
gonna talk to
Get
you.
out.
Just get out of my
Relax.
car.
Can you please
Get out.
relax? Can
Get
you
out.
please relax?
Get out of the car right now.
This
Now.
is not how you treat a vet. I'm actively serving this country, and this is how you're gonna treat me.
Back up, Daniel.
I didn't do anything.
Back up.
Whoa, hold on.
Hey,
What's going? Hold on. Watch it.
AO4 OCs deployed.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car now.
That's fucked up. That's fucked
Get out
up.
of the car now.
Sir, just get out of the car.
I'm trying to breathe. Ugh,
Get out of the car now.
that's fucked up. That's really fucked up.
Get out of the car and get on the ground now. Get it.
I don't even want to reach my seatbelt. Can you?
Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car.
Can you please?
Get out of the car now. Listen. Take off your seatbelt and get out of the car.
Look, I'm just gonna please.
You're gonna do what you're told. Get out of the car.
Look,
Take your seatbelt off and get out of the.
Look.
Take your seatbelt off.
look, my hands are out.
Take your seatbelt off and get out of the
My
car.
hands are out.
Don't reach in there, Daniel. Don't reach in there.
My hands are out. Please. Please, look. This is really messed up. My dog is in the back. My dog is choking right
Get
now.
out of the car. Take your seatbelt off. What are you, a specialist? What are you?
I'm a lieutenant.
Lieutenant, get out of the car. Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car. You made this way more difficult than it had to be if you just complied. Get out of the car.
I'm reaching for my seatbelt.
Fine. Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car. Straight onto the ground. Straight onto the ground.
Ma'am.
Is your commanding officer available?
Down. Let's go.
Is your commanding
Let's
officer
go.
available?
Get on the ground. Get on the
Can you
ground.
please talk to
Get
me
on the
about
ground
what's
now.
going on?
Get on the ground or you're getting sprayed again. Get on the ground.
Can you please talk to me about what's
Get on
going
the ground. Get on the ground now.
Can you please talk to me
Get on
about
the
what's
ground.
going
Get on the ground.
Can you please talk to me about what's
Yes, sir.
going on?
You're not.
Can you please talk to me about what's going on? Why am I being treated like this? Why?
You're not cooperating. Get on the ground.
Why am I being treated like this? This is really messed up. This is really messed up.
Sir, well, just work
This
with
is
me.
really, this is fucked up.
Sir,
This is fucked up.
Sir,
This is fucked
sir.
up. You know this is fucked
lay down.
up.
Lay on the ground. Just
You
lay
know
flat.
this is fucked
Lay
up.
flat for me, sir.
You know this is fucked up.
Sir, lay flat. Lay flat.
This is fucked up. I can't fucking believe I'm being treated like this. And I'm fucking
Get on the
angry.
ground. Get on the ground. Right there. Right there. What's that?
It's gum. What the fuck?
Get on the ground.
It's gum.
Sir, can you just work with us?
Can I?
Just work with us. Lay down flat.
Hold on.
Lay down flat. Lay down flat.
Sir,
This
lay
is
down.
really
I'm going to
fucked
tase you.
up.
Lay down. You're going
This
to get
is
tased.
fucked up.
Lay down. You're going to get tased.
Fucked up. This
All
is
right, now
fucked up.
put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
This is fucked up. This is fucked up.
I agree. All you had to do was listen.
All right.
803. One in custody.
This is fucked up. Can you open up the window for my dog? I hear him choking. Can you open up the window, please?
Yes.
Stand
Yes,
up.
we will.
Stand up, okay?
This is fucked up.
Is there any weapons on you, sir? No. Okay. Any weapons in the vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. What kind? Where are they at?
What kind of dog you got?
He's mixed. He's a service animal.
So why didn't you just do as we asked, sir? Why didn't you just do as we asked?
Complying, my hands out the
No, you
window.
weren't. You were not. My partner put his blue lights on.
Yes.
You didn't
and
stop.
I was pulling over to a well-lit area for my safety and yours. I have respect for law enforcement.
No, you don't.
And so-
No, you don't. No. Wrong answer, sir. If you did, we would not be in this situation right now.
Can
All
I
right?
get some water, please?
Absolutely. Sit right on this curb right here. Turn around.
Come sit on this curb.
Walk backwards. Walk backwards.
Can you get some way? Can you open up the window for my dog?
I got him.
I hear him choking.
We already
got 'em
did.
all in.
We already opened it.
I'm gonna go grab a
Sit down.
bottle
I
of
got
water.
you. Sit down on the
All right,
curb.
Joe. You good with that?
Yeah. Sit down on the curb. Sit down right there.
Can I get a bottle of water? Hey, what's up? OC?
You want a cup of water?
Whatever. I'll come back and pay for it. I'm just gonna get 2 bottles.
Here, I'm gonna give you a big cup like this.
Okay.
I'm gonna get my bike. I'm going home.
You are not going to have
Shit, I ain't gonna be with you.
you are.
Every time I work with you, something go wrong.
Huh.
I'm gonna let my bike go.
You want another one? If so, just
Better.
let me know. I'll bring
That'll
it
be
out.
okay for now. Thank you. I know.
Why does this comply? It's a simple traffic stop.
Dark over there. Those areas are dark. I did not feel comfortable.
right, sir.
Those areas are dark.
Hold on,
have you a cup of water?
for you.
Please
want-
pour it on my face.
It's gonna make it worse. You know that, right?
All right. So if it's gonna make it worse, don't do it then.
Yeah, it's gonna reactivate it and make it worse.
Where's the
They're right
They're
here.
here.
Where the medics?
They're here.
I need them to talk to me. What's
They're
going
right here
on?
beside you.
What's up, man? What can you do to help me out right now? My eyes are burning. I need to I can't drive. I can't see something needs to be done. I didn't commit any crimes. I'm leaving tonight. I'm not going to jail. I need something to be done for my eyes.
Nothing I can do to help you drive.
Can you wipe my face? Can you do something?
Can you notify 801?
Then refuse to get out. And we told them to get out. Try to take
Well,
it out.
keep your handcuffs on you for their safety. So until they can figure out what's up or why you don't want to stop for them, they're probably going to leave you.
It was a dark area. I pulled over to a well-lit place.
That's fine. You can tell him that. So
I told him that, and that's why I don't understand why I'm still
Sir,
in
how do you say your last name?
Nazario.
Okay, Mr. Nazario. I know this doesn't make a lot of sense to you, but the more that you blink, it's going to cause your eyes to tear, and it's going to get that burning out, okay? So blink for me.
You understand what he's saying?
The more that you blink your eyes, it's going to
make
cause
your eyes
tearing.
tear up. Your natural tears have
I need to blow
saline.
my nose. Can I please blow
Sure.
my nose? Can
Blow
you
right
please
in
take
here.
the cup?
Go ahead, let it out. That'll help you. Just pepper out your.
Wipe my nose.
Nazario, do you have any? Okay. You take your medication on a regular basis?
No.
Are you allergic to any medicine?
I got you. All right.
Can you please take the cuffs off me? There's nothing going on. There's nothing wrong. Come on. This is
Obviously there is because you wouldn't comply with us. All we did is ask you to get out of the car. And you refused. You said, no, I'm not getting out of the car.
I was asking what was going on. My hands are out the window.
And we told you it's a traffic stop, and you refused to comply. So hold on. Before we get to that, my medics are still here. You still need my medics?
Yes, I'm going to stay here.
We'll stand by, man.
Okay.
We'll stay here as long as you need us.
So that's
So, about how long does this take to wear off?
You just come out of rookie school. How
Yeah.
long does pepper spray activate?
It'll take about 20 minutes, man. 20, 30 minutes.
It's just
The more, I'm telling you, I know it doesn't make sense, but the more you blink, the better it's going to be. I didn't believe the guys when they told me either, okay? But the more you blink, the better it's going to get.
They go through this
is
stuff
making
in
me
their
very
training.
anxious. Can you please take the cuffs off
No.
me? Please. I need to relax. Okay.
If you
Okay,
hadn't
so
fought us, then yeah, I
I
would.
did not fight you. Look, can can you adjust this, please, so my wrist can face each other, please?
They can lock them.
Please.
When I take your arms out, do not pull away, okay?
I'm not going to pull away. I'm just asking you to please work with me.
I'm gonna work with you as much as you'll work with me.
My grandmother is retired NYPD.
All right, what do you want to do with this hand?
I want to twist it around this way. Yeah.
All right.
Can you move to the side just a little bit, please?
Where's your ID at, sir?
I believe it's in this shoulder pocket.
Here?
Yes. You feel something rectangular?
Where are you stationed at, Mr. Nazario?
I'm coming from
How are you getting in your pocket? Zipper? Oh, zipper, okay.
I'm coming from a medical event. I'm a medical officer.
All right, I'll put your wallet back in here, okay? What y'all do, exercise today?
Do you have?
We're preparing for a deployment. So
Thank you.
Let's see the military ID. Daniel?
Yes, sir.
Check them all out.
Where are you stationed
This sucks
at?
shit all day, and I can't see shit without my eyes.
my unit.
You got it. I'll get that from you in a minute.
That's all I'm supposed to do. If you just stepped out the car when we told you to, we'd be done by now.
Your
simple traffic-
guns were drawn.
It's a
Mr.
simple traffic violation.
Mr. Nazario, look, you want to stop in a well-lit area because you're nervous.
Yes.
The whole BLM movement, you're probably nervous and all that. They feel the same way. They're nervous for their jobs and their lives. I get where you're coming from. They get where you're coming from. But let's let this pepper spray kind of wear off and stuff, and then just have an intelligent conversation with them.
Driving all the way down here. First of all, you passed a well-lit parking lot there, but okay, you felt more comfortable here, okay? Coming here was not the problem. That was not the problem. The problem is when you refuse to get out of the car. Okay? You refuse to get out of the car. When we got here and you stepped out of the car, I can promise you, this would have been over by now. It'd have been over, you'd be gone.
Look, like he said, he's a vet. He don't want to get you in no trouble with information. Not dizzy though, right? You gonna fall over?
You okay, Mr. Nazario? If that's still wearing off a little bit now.
I can see a little better.
Okay, very good. So we're progressing. We're getting there.
Where you stay at?
I'm heading to Petersburg right now. Check on some family stuff. I got a bunch of gear in the vehicle. I'm transferring units right now. My vehicle's loaded up with gear.
Okay, well specifically, he was asking about weapons. What kind of weapons you got in?
It's right there. I'm sure you saw it already. Right
No, I mean, you just got a handgun or you got a long gun?
It's a handgun.
No long gun? Where's it at?
I got it.
like you said, don't worry about their safety. Just like you worry about yours.
Yeah, he came back with it. We're on a firearm. X-ray Delta 996874. XD 996874. Temple.
You have your orders yet.
One unit, Portsmouth to Norfolk.
They haven't told you where your next deployment is?
We're going to, we're being split up. I don't know if I'm going to be in Kuwait or Afghanistan. But I'm at the,
Going to Sandbox.
I'm good with this.
Alright, now have no chest pain, short of breath.
no, is my dog okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my brother's checking on it. All the windows down, from there.
You alright if I pop the trunk?
Yes, sir.
Hey, pup. Hey, pup.
Is that a blue nose?
Yeah.
Gorgeous dogs.
Thank you.
Carry dog with you on deployment or stay with family?
I'm making arrangements for that now. If I could, I would take them. That's my kid.
Okay, do me a favor. Go ahead and have a seat on your bumper right there, okay? I don't want you to fall down. I don't want you to hold on to it. So just relax right there. Lieutenant, what happened? Why wouldn't you comply?
I looked out the mirror and I saw guns drawn. I put my hands out.
And we told you, we identified ourselves, we told you to step out of the vehicle, and you wouldn't. And all you had to do was comply, and we'd have been done by now, okay? Because trust me, as far as driving,
All right, Mr. Nazario. So, let's go all the way back to square one, okay? I turned around on you at Food Line. I actually came out of Cost Plus, and I came up behind you.
I saw you before you turned.
And you had no tags displayed. I see it, but per the law, it has to be in the license plate bracket. I understand it's paper, and I understand why it's there.
Yes.
But at that time, I had no idea. I didn't know that you had a vehicle registration until I approached your car. And at that point, I was too busy dealing with you to deal with the tag. You want me to wipe your eyes? Okay. So, look, all this was going to be was, hey man, I stopped you. You didn't have a tag. You got your driver's license. I'd have ran you, and you'd have been on your way. Okay? What would have been a 2-minute traffic stop turned into all this.
As I was telling him, you know, I've pulled over to well-lit areas before, and I've never looked out the window and saw guns blazing immediately.
So the reason we did that is because we followed you for 1.5 miles with lights and sirens on, and you didn't pull over. I understand you want to get to a well-lit area, a well-lit area. I get that, but when we follow you that long, look at the climate this day, and against everybody, against us, against y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not out to hurt you, and I know you don't want to hurt me. That's not what it's about. What it's about is making sure that everybody goes home at the end of the day. So When you don't stop and you continue to proceed, our suspicions are raised. What's going on in the car? What don't he want us to see? So you pull into here, and if you would have just complied with the simple commands that we were giving you originally, it would have been done and over with, and you would have got back on your car and you'd be gone by now. But you wouldn't get out the car, you wouldn't comply.
It just looking out the mirror and seeing your guns out already. That's what I was asking, like, what's going on? I was just,
And not to mention you have
just confused.
I know you weren't reaching, but not to mention you had a gun at your right leg. You get our perspective though on the safety issue for us as well. You get that?
Yeah, I do, and that's why I put my hands out and I was just asking what.
And when you put your hands out, they were like this outside the window. How do we know nothing's in your hands? And I was telling you, stick your hands out, stick your hands out, stick your hands out. Then I was having you step out. You wouldn't do any of it. You following what I'm saying? Okay. So this can go one or two ways. Okay. I don't want to hem you up. I'm gonna be straight up with you. You're a good man. You've made lieutenant in the Army. How hard was that? That wasn't an easy task, was it?
No, it wasn't.
And what would this do to your career?
It would hurt it, and I'm in the middle of getting promoted right now anyway. So yeah.
To what, captain or first lieutenant?
To first lieutenant.
Okay. So, and then when we get you out of the car, we have to wrestle with you on the ground just to get your hands behind your back, just to put you in cuffs, just for the safety matter. You following where we're at? I mean, what would you do if you came across that overseas, you know? If you were infantry and you came across that? You following me? You see where we're coming from? I'm trying to work with you as much as I can. I would have never wanted, like I said, it would have been a simple, you know, hey, I see your tag now, you know, make sure you get it displayed in the proper spot, and you'd have been moving on with your day, and I'd have been moving on with mine. But here we are.
How's your eyes doing, Lieutenant?
Better.
And I keep calling you Lieutenant. I told you I'm a veteran. I respect rank. Okay, I was a corporal in the Marine Corps. I respect rank. However, I do have a job to do. Okay, I just talked about Chief of Police. You asked for a superior. He's off, obviously, right now. It's Saturday. I called him. He came out. Talked. Here's how that's what I was thinking. I told him what I wanted to do. He said that's no problem. Two ways we can handle this. We can either sit here with you until you get your eyes back where you can see, and I mean at a good distance so you're safe to drive, okay? And you're going down the road. Go do your deployment, go continue serving my country, which I respect and I thank you for, okay? Or we can push the issue, write you tickets for no license plate displayed and for obstruction of justice. I don't think we need to go that route because that route makes the Army get involved, and I know how they are. You don't know this. The Army, he'll vouch for it. Because he's been in and he's got friends that are legal officers. I know. The military is the only place the military is the only place where double jeopardy exists legally. Because whenever we do to him, the Army can turn around and jam him for the same thing. I don't want to see that happen. You're obviously a second lieutenant. You ain't been in very long. But if you plan on making this a career or even 6 years or whatever, it's up to you. I don't care. There's no need getting this on your record. I don't want it on your record. However, it's entirely up to you. If you want to fight it and argue, I mean, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, okay? I mean, you have that right as a citizen. If that's what you want, we'll charge you, have you go to court, notify the command, do all that, or we can take time out of our night, which is not a problem. We're being paid to take care of people, okay? We'll sit here with you, get your eyes back. You and, what's your dog's name? Smoke? That's a badass name for a badass dog. You and Smoke can get on down the road, okay? It's entirely up to you. What do you want to do? I got no problem. I'll sit here with you till you get your eyes back and send you on down the road. Okay? I don't want to charge you. I will. It's my job. I don't want to. The chief's giving me discretion on how to handle it. He's like, these are the two choices. I said, that's what I was thinking. That's what I want to do. He's like, not a problem. We can either let it go, help him out, get his eyes back, and get him on down the road so the Army doesn't get involved, or we can charge you, and then it's a big hassle for you. It doesn't change my life one way or the way. Because, you see what I'm saying? It's not about me. This is about you. What you want to do. If you want to just chill, let this go, and no charges filed, we'll take the handcuffs off, we'll get you a bottle of water you can drink on, and sit here until you feel comfortable driving. All right? Mm-hmm. Or the other option is we write the summons, discharge you, by then we have no choice. We have to notify your command. And again, I don't have to be an ass. I don't have to be threatening. I say that because that's just the way it is. Okay? I just talked to my boss. Those are the two choices that he gave me. Personally, as a veteran who served, okay, I did 6 years before. My wife's a retired sailor. She retired as a EA out of the Navy. Okay, I don't want to see you get jammed up by the Army. Okay, I don't want to see it happen. If you need to spit, just let us know. Go ahead and spit. Because we've both been sprayed, so we know what it's like. It sucks. If you need to spit, go ahead and spit. You're not going to offend us.
Good.
All right. What do you want to do, Lieutenant? I'll let you tell me because.
I mean, nobody's gonna ask for charges, so I'm not gonna ask for that.
I understand that. However, I have to make that option available to you, right? I have to. So here's what I want to do. Especially as calm as you've been since everything ended, I want to take the handcuffs off, let you sit here with smoke. We'll sit here and wait with you. Let your eyes come back, okay? Because it takes anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes, depending on how much actually got in the eyeball itself, before you can really see well how to drive, especially at night, okay? We'll sit here with you, and then we'll get you on down the road. And the command won't know nothing about it. All right?
I do have a good rapport with my command, so I wouldn't feel right not talking to them about it. So
that's entirely on you. I'll put it this way then for you. They're going to hear from you. They will not hear from us. I'll give you that much respect, okay? Because I understand, I told you, I was in for 6 years. It's always better for the command to hear it first from you than somebody else, especially with law enforcement. That's never a good thing. Go ahead and unhook him. I want to talk to you a little bit more. I get it, okay? I get the climate we're in right now. I get it, okay? The climate we're in, what the media is spewing with the race relations between minorities and law enforcement, I get it, okay? So like I told you, as far as you not stopping and because you weren't comfortable and you wanted a well-lit spot, Lieutenant, that happens all the time. It happens to me a lot. And it's I would say 80% of the time, not always, 80% of the time, it's a minority. And I totally get it.
All right, panelists. Attorney Heather, coming to you first. I'm reading a quote right now from an article on CNN.com talking about the lawsuit recently filed by Lieutenant Nazario. It says the suit filed in U.S. District Court and first reported by the Virginian pilot claims unlawful seizure, excessive force, illegal search, violating his First Amendment right to free speech, and common law assault, battery, and false imprisonment. How much of that did you see happen in the video?
All of it from top to bottom. Every single thing has an absolutely valid claim. None of it is frivolous. None of it is unfounded. All of it is valid.
Walk me through that.
So people get into situations, they get pulled over, they get stopped on the street so frequently and get arrested, and then sometimes things get thrown out, they don't get charged with anything. And pretty much the run of the mill is people just kind of let it go. But when you have something as egregious as this, and I think in a time like this when everyone's kind of on higher alert as to the injustices and things that have been going on and have been going on so frequently, that somebody finally, I think, says enough is enough, and we have rights for a reason, and when they're violated, and again, especially so egregiously, something needs to be done. So when you have an illegal search and seizure, that's, when somebody's coming up, the officers are coming up without, as we talked about last week, probable cause or reasonable suspicion, and begin just coming up to you with full assault. The assault, the batteries, the pepper spray, the coming at him with guns drawn immediately, instantly, without him doing anything, saying a word, complying to what they're saying, hands out the window, speaking calmly, and still coming out screaming, guns drawn like loading clips. That's assault. just every single element was met by the video that we watched, and I I kind of almost don't know what else to say, but I'm glad there's that lawsuit filed, because this is exhausting watching this happen over and over again with people seeing nothing happen in return.
All right, 2 quick questions for you, Madam Attorney. One, is there a law that says when police have to inform you of why you were pulled over?
There is not.
Do you know, is it true that some departments, in fact, have policies saying not to inform a driver until you've gotten their driver's license in case they flee?
Correct. So yes, there's no law indicating specifically that they do need to tell you what's going on. You don't have to give consent if they're just saying, show me your purse, let me look in the car, etc. If they haven't told you what their probable cause is or the reason for the detention, but they don't have to specifically tell you what's going on.
Okay. Question 2, just to hammer this out and get this base of fact out of the way. When ordered on a traffic stop by a police officer, does someone have to get out of the car?
Yes. By Supreme Court case law, when ordered out of the vehicle, you do need to get out of the vehicle. Otherwise, you can be charged with, resisting or not complying with lawful orders of an officer, etc. But yes, even if you think you've done nothing wrong, and again, this is something I tell all of my clients, and I think we actually several weeks back watched a video where somebody was like, I'm not getting out, they're coming at me, and the guy was trying to grab him. You do need to get out of the vehicle. That's squarely, period, full stop. That's been roundly rejected by places that try to say that you don't have to get out. If they order you out of the vehicle, you have to at least get out of the vehicle. Now, at that point, you don't have to, again, comply with any searches without probable cause or reasonable suspicion, anything like that, unless they have reason to believe that you're armed and presently dangerous. They can't start doing searches. But just standing outside of the vehicle is required if they ask you.
Joe, if you have asked someone to get out of the vehicle and they have not, at what point is less than lethal force authorized to gain their compliance?
Well, first of all, here, those are my stars from being in 31 years on the police department. That's a representation of a soldier at the memorial, Vietnam Veterans Memorial. There's no way in hell. This video pisses me off so bad, because there's no reason in hell that these two groups, the military and the police, should have an encounter like this. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Now, in breaking it down, okay, which I kind of did, which it did break down itself. The stop broke down itself. Just a couple of things that preliminary in my mind, okay? First of all, I don't think they could see that he had they could see the legitimacy of the replacement plate, temporary plates. Temporary plates here in Illinois, they used to be like cardboard. People would put them, tape them in the back window with duct tape. The idea of all police officers by now know that people have been told, especially people in minority groups, that if they feel unsafe, to drive to an area that's well lit. I don't know what this area is like in this town or whatever. He drove 1.5 miles before he stopped at a very low rate of speed while they are following him with lights ablaze and telling him to pull over or whatever the situation was. When he first got out, when he first stopped, and this thing had progressed to nothing already, to horror already, the officer who ultimately ended up getting fired said, well, you passed a well-lighted area. You try to, when the tension was over, and this was two people talking in a reasonable tone, unfortunately, a lot of damage had already been done. The explanations sounded reasonable on both sides. But I think the most important thing is we've seen this before, okay? People don't understand the law. it was like, okay, we're calling this a high risk stop. People don't understand how that changes from a regular stop to where it's like, hey, sir, nonchalantly walk up to your car, license, registration, please. You did this, blah, blah, blah. Stay in your car right now. I'll be right back. And they run the plate or whatever. They run the license, okay? To what they deem to be a high risk stop where guns are drawn and they're yelling at the guy, and the guy's like, the lieutenant is like, oh, we've seen this before. Average citizens are not ready to comply with a situation where they're going to be dragged out, put down on the ground, face down, or kneel down on the ground, especially minorities. It's just not, I think it's repugnant based on history, et cetera, et cetera. So that whole idea was, he kept saying, the lieutenant kept saying, what's this all about? Why? I'm not getting out of the car. He literally said, he didn't say the words exactly. He started to say, I'm afraid. He started to say he was afraid. Well, again, you could be afraid, but the officers are saying, of course, they've got still their guns pointed at him. You're not going to get shot, whatever. You got to get out of the car, okay? But what I'm saying, the difference in what was going on mentally between the lieutenant, who was like, this doesn't seem reasonable at any level to me, versus what the cops are saying, you must comply and you're not complying. Therefore, we have the right to take charge and apply physical force and less lethal force. And this is where it all breaks down. We've seen this before. Pulling somebody out of a car, yeah. I've seen people smash the windows. I've seen, grab somebody around the neck in a headlock and drag them out through the window. How far should someone go? What's reasonable? What's in the circumstances? Okay. I don't think to honestly be honest, I totally believe this. I don't think they knew what race he was until they got into the gas station. I don't think you could tell. I tell people, when you're on the highway and somebody buzzes by you at 80 miles an hour and you're going 60, you can't tell what race they are. So but I don't think they were able to tell that. So
let me cut in here real fast.
Go ahead.
Aric, I'm coming to you right now, but Heather, real fast, yes or no question for you. Was the stop lawful?
Technically, yes.
Aric, you, sir, you wrote the book. Walk me through it. What happened? Where'd it go wrong?
I think it went wrong. Well, I think he did the right thing first of wanting to be in a safe area. And if he did pass a lighted area, that he could still feel that wasn't a safe place for him. But if he were going to find another place and he was driving for a mile and a half, whatever the distance was, he could have called 911 and told them that what he was about to do and where he was headed. I think that would have de-escalated some things on his end, because that information could have been relayed back to the officers that were in pursuit. Mm-hmm. But I still don't know why you have to jump out of the car and have guns drawn and the guy's hands are out the car. But I'm with Joe. I mean, you didn't know. I don't think they knew what race he was because they said the windows were tinted. So if he drove by, unless his windows were down and he was driving slowly, they wouldn't know. I think they were more angry about having to follow him for a mile and a half to wherever he decided he was going to stop.
Well, what they said was they afterwards that they weren't so much angry, but it charged up this idea of what's going on here with this guy. Why isn't he stopping? Why is this happening? Why is he doing this? And the fact the other thing is this. Well, he's a soldier. Well, how many people drive around in fatigue tops? I mean, they didn't know that, I don't think, until he identified himself at the stop. But it's like,
well,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would beg to differ about anger. When you jump out of a car, hands or guns drawn, and you're yelling and shouting at someone, there's some anger involved in that. It wasn't a calm conversation at any point.
You remember we had a couple of episodes ago where people said the police were too casual, and we need to be more directive, okay, and more or less nonsense. Here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do.
But you can do that without being so highly aggressive, I think.
Yes.
Just the
I'm going to interject here that I actually thought the younger cop was basically ideal because he was aggressively giving instructions, but he also tried another approach, which was, hey, man, if you just get out of here, if you just get out of the car, we'll work with you. Get out of the car and we'll work with you, man. Whereas the other guy hit him with, you're fixing to ride the lightning, son.
A movie quote.
What year does he think this is that you can say that to somebody? That said, I think the video made it very clear he was referencing his taser that he was drawing as he said that, and not an electrocution chair. However, you still don't say that to somebody.
Yeah.
How do you say that to somebody? And then when your subject says, I'm afraid to get out of the car. Yeah, you should be. Well, that's not going to help. That's not going to help this situation.
Right. It just kind of shows this drunk on power, like, you should be afraid. Why?
Heather, I'm struggling on something here, and I'm hoping that you can define what I'm missing here. Do you remember the case with Derek Thompson, who was the guy who wouldn't get out of his car? He was passively resisting, and the cop said, you're about to get your ass whooped in front of Lord and all creation. And then eventually wrapped his arm around the guy's neck and pulled him out
through the window. Yeah.
Right. Where is the difference here? I see a cop who said the wrong things, but where did he do the wrong things?
The officer?
Yeah.
Which one?
The one who, the one with the taser and all the horrible things.
Well, I would say after he got done yelling and screaming, and the lieutenant asked for a sergeant, or was attempting to ask for a sergeant, which he should have done in the beginning, he was ignored. That request was ignored. I mean, everything he was saying was ignored at that point. But I mean, I think the officer, the lead officer, was just going to exert his power of authority.
I was going to say that actually was problematic, because I do tell a lot of my clients that same thing that Aric just said. Ask for a sergeant, ask for white shirt, get somebody else there if you feel like something's not going right here. And the fact that that was just, like you said, completely ignored is also problematic, because it's like, no, we're in charge here. We can take care of this. We have the power. And that's scary.
Well, I don't know if it was ignored.
For anyone who can answer it. Joe, maybe this is for you. I'm not sure. I see, and maybe this is a state-to-state question. I'm not sure. What is the law or policy when someone asks for a supervisor, as far as when the officer must do that? Now, is that sort of like identifying where, okay, you want a supervisor, I will get one, but I can get control here first? Or is this like you ask for a supervisor? Okay, I step back and I'll wait for a supervisor.
This is small town USA, okay? The supervisor apparently turned out to be the chief of police, who they had contacted directly. And that was the supervisor, and it was a Saturday night, and guess what? He was off. So I don't think there was a street supervisor at the time. So ultimately, I guess he was contacted.
I sort of have a feeling that the sergeant who was yelling at him was kind of the supervisor.
Yeah, I don't know if he was a sergeant, but again, it's one officer. Obviously, okay, the young man, the first officer, was in, this is the mode we're in. It's a high-risk mode. So therefore, I'm going to do A, B, C. I got the gun out. I'm pointing at him. I'm telling him to put his hands up. The lieutenant's not complying. Now, here comes the drill instructor, the 8-year veteran of the Marine Corps, okay, who's not going to tolerate this and imposes his will on the whole stop and the whole situation, all right? To the point where I think the lieutenant wanted to have a conversation with what seemed to be a reasonable person. The the officer who took control of the whole thing, who ultimately got fired, was not having it. We weren't not having anything until you comply with our orders. Okay, it's a matter of an imposition of will. It's a matter of I'm not hearing any of this until I get compliance. Sometimes, again, we've seen it before. Yeah, we don't want to get lackadaisical. Ultimately, this guy happened to have a gun right by his right leg. He certainly had, in my total belief, had no intention of using it. He was going from one place to another. But we've seen what happens in a heartbeat. You know, I'm certain that the lieutenant did not know that they could order him out of the car because he says, I don't have to get out of the car at one point. I don't have to get out of the car. That's a sticking point that is like, you know, how they have about the airbags. Don't put your feet up on the desk. They should have a sticker right on the thing that says, if a police officer says you have to get out of the car. So, I mean, it's communications, it's training, it's demeanor.
Joe, when they had him out of the car and they were trying to tell him to get on the ground, and you could see the primary officer giving him knee strikes.
Yeah.
Is that authorized?
Well, they were trying to get him on the ground. Again, force necessary. Was it necessary to put him face down on the ground? He was not complying. But on the other hand, they had him to the point where, well, of course, at what point did they know for sure they didn't have a weapon somewhere on him, like a knife or something? I don't know. But I can't recall in the video enough where they were able to put him flat against the car and be able to frisk him. But they were, again, the protocol apparently for that high-risk stop called on placing the subject on the ground. We saw with the hotel. Remember the hotel thing? That protocol required certain things that didn't make sense in that particular stop. Knee strikes, no. I mean, they needed to get into a position of compliance. Whether they were able to get him up the side of the car, put his hands up there, frisk him, spread. If you could put somebody in a frisk mode where they can't move. If they move, they fall on their face. Okay, most people don't do it wrong. To do a frisk, which they were authorized to do, they had a right to do it for weapons. Okay, but the rest of it was again, we've seen it before. It was just not appropriate to the situation.
You know, he may have been non-compliant, but he was not resisting. And I can only imagine with the nerves that were going on at the time and having a gun on the floorboard, he's trying to get out of the car and accidentally kicks the gun off into the ground. I can only imagine what happens with guns drawn on you already.
Yeah, he should have told the officers there's a gun in the car.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that might help.
We'll go back to this thing about maybe everyone needs to be educated on this. Maybe Joe's right. They could put it on the visor of every car. If a police officer orders you out, I'm sorry, you have to get out of the vehicle, and you can stand next to your door, but you don't have to do all this other stuff. I don't know. Just so that everybody's clear on that, because I don't think almost anybody knows that. People ask me that all the time. I have to get out of the car if they say I have to get out? Yeah, but nobody knows that. So I don't know why officers think that everyone just knows that. They should know by now that people don't know that, the way that people react to them constantly by not doing it or saying I don't have to. Like, maybe they need to read the room and know that, hey, guys, nobody knows this. Maybe
in between TV shows, they should have an ad. Here's from the local police saying, here's what you need to do.
Right. Just the public.
Quite frankly, I think that every governor in every state should be using their state's public broadcast system and putting out informational segments.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, here are the
it's just a question on the test.
Millions of lives in your state.
Yeah, on your driver's test, it could be a simple question.
Yeah, exactly
absolutely.
right.
Goes right back to what we talked about that they're trying to do in Georgia with new drivers taking their, that course on how to interact with the police.
Well, yeah, or when you renew your driver's license, just a routine test. You understand that, bump, bump, bump. This is it.
Correct. There are laws that you have to follow. There are things that the police have to follow, but there are things you need to do too. Like here's your rights, here's their rights. Laws,
my idea was this. Here, listen to this one how about this? The police pull up to you and announce that you're being stopped, and please turn your radio to 106.5 and you'll hear a broadcast of all the things that you're required to do on the radio. How about that? In a nice, calm voice.
How about if someone pulls a gun on you and gives you instructions, you might want to comply.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I've had guns pulled on me, not by the police, but
Aric, at the end of the video, in the second part, after the stop is over, what was your impression? What do you feel you saw? Did you see cops trying to cover up their mistakes, or did you see cops trying to give a soldier a break from what he would face with those charges?
I saw backtracking. That's what I saw. Just plain and simple. They were in the wrong. I think maybe they had time to reevaluate what happened, and maybe by that time the chief of police came and said, "Hey, we need to do A, B, and C, and you better try to figure out how to calm this guy down so he doesn't sue us." Maybe that's what happened.
Thank you.